For a lot of hip flexion, it's really nice to lie down to keep the spine nice and elongated and resting on the floor. In this practice, we'll be on the floor, we'll be lying down most of the practice, doing a lot of hip work. If you've got yoga props like blocks and a blanket and a strap, that might be worthwhile in some of these actions that we're doing. We'll start in a seated position. With your feet forward, place your hands right above your knees and rock forward and rock back on your sitz bones. Just keep a nice action so that you can get to know the full circumference of the sitz bones. So rock in circles and rock the opposite direction. And come forward on your sitz bones. Take your feet together. And as you take your feet together, I kind of like holding on to my legs because it helps me stay forward on the sitz bones. See if you can get your feet together, yet as if you're taking the feet away from each other. So you're drawing the feet away from each other isometrically, even though they're together. Stay forward on your sitz bones. Notice how that drawing away action creates a nice length in the thigh there. Draw your heart forward. Keep on pulling the feet away from each other and keep your legs as active as they are as we begin to do some movement. So keep your right leg very active as if it's pulling away. Rock over to your right side and free your left leg. Just reach it out and come down to your forearms. Once you're on your forearms, lift your back knee. See if you can make your left foot, vertical. Maybe even come down to rest your head on your stacked hands. Keep your back leg very actively lifting the knee, pressing all the toes in if possible. And inhale, lift yourself up. Come back to the pose we were in, padangustasana. Feet together. Hands can be at the shin bones. Move just to get a feeling of the full circumference of these sitz bones. Move forward, move back, move side to side, move in circles. Now come forward on the sitz bones, reactivate the legs, feet are together, but as if they're pulling apart. You're engaging, you might feel it in the inner groin muscles. Now try to keep that, especially with your left leg. Lean over to that leg, reach your right leg out, tuck your right toes under, come down to your forearms, with the toes tucked under, and you lift the knee. Maybe you can even come all the way down to your forehead if that works for you on this side. Keep your back leg very active. Even though the front leg feels very passive, can you get that feeling of engagement as if the foot is still pulling away from the opposite foot? Inhale, lift yourself out of the pose. Come back to padangustasana again. Hands can be supporting you forward, but see if you can support yourself by pressing the hands close to the pelvis in the back. So pressing down to get this nice opening in the chest. The legs are working hard to pull the feet away from each other, and that just allows you just a little bit more extension from the pelvis to the knee. Now release out of the pose and come to lie on your back. If you do have a strap, grab it. We'll be using it in a little bit, so just place it by your side with your knees bent. Take your feet nice and wide apart and just draw the knees over to one side a little bit, not too much. And back to center and to the opposite side. So you get a nice massage of the gluteus, moving side to side. And come back to the same pose we were in, seated with your feet in a prayer position, your knees dropping wide. Imagine again, even with the feet together, you're pulling the feet away from each other. Press your elbows close to your ribs. We're not doing much shoulder work here, but just see if you can open your heart by retracting your shoulders with the elbows pressing, the hands starting in this robot form. Externally rotate your forearms and bring the thumbs a little bit closer to the earth. And you start to get some sensation in the arms, perhaps. But in this supine position, you have a nice alignment of the spine. Not much rounding going on. Keep pulling the feet away from each other. So you've got a strong engagement there. And release by bringing your knees back in toward each other. Draw your right knee in on its own action without using your right hand. Lift your right foot up. Now some of us have access to the right foot. We might even be able to take our index finger and middle finger right between the big toe and the next toe and grab the big toe. But that may not be available to you for this full stretch because we'll start to straighten the right leg. And now slowly you'll bend it again. All these actions in the practice are pretty slow, pretty chill. And straighten the right and bend the right leg. One more time. Lift up slowly. Draw down slowly. And release your grip of the toe or the strap if you use the strap, but have the right leg lifted, the right toes active. Turn the right toes to the right. Take your arms in a cactus pose, if that works for you, or just extend them out. Now turn the right foot just slightly over to the right side. Hold it there as if you're working the leg against an invisible force, as if your hand is trying to take the leg down and the leg is resisting. See if you can keep a strong action going on like that. Now extend your left leg and keep that strong action of the right foot going to the right side. Now lift your right foot up and internally rotate your foot just draw over just slightly to the side. So you get a nice IT band stretch here with the right hip still planted. Breathe into it. In through the nose and out through the nose. And come back to the center position where you'll rest the right foot on the mat. Bend your left knee. Take your feet nice and wide apart. Draw your right knee toward your left ankle. We've done a lot of work here with the right leg. We'll just do a little bit more. See if you can take your right foot just a little bit taller. Maybe work it toward the armpit a little bit so that you get a nice length from the pelvis to the knee, if that works for you. Keep the left knee lifted, the right knee drawing down. And lift your right leg up and step your feet so that they're in that Baddha konasana, supine position. With your feet in a prayer position, your knees are wide apart, your arms are still in this cactus frame, as if pulling the feet away from each other, even while they're still together. Get as much length from the pelvis to the knee as possible. Now draw your knees in toward one another. Park your right foot, but lift your left foot off the mat. Lift it high and just check it out for yourself. If you've got a strap, you might want to use it. Hook the big toe with the fingers. So often the fingers are a lot stronger than the big toe, but see if you can do a strong hooking action with your toe. So your fingers don't win. Your toe's still really working against the fingers as you straighten the left leg. And bend the left leg. Drawing the left knee just to the outer left ribs. And straighten the left leg. And draw the left knee to the outer ribs. Keep the right foot planted. And one more time. Lift your left heel high. Bend your left knee. Draw the left knee in. And slowly release your left foot down. Pause here with the feet together. The knees wide apart, the feet as if pulling away from each other, and get nice length from the pelvis to the kneecap. Plant your feet again, lift your knees up, lift your left leg up, engage the leg nicely with spread toes, heel at least as high as the toes, if not higher if possible. Externally rotate the foot and just draw over to the side just a little bit. Trying to keep from tipping to that left side. You can slowly slide your right heel further from the pelvis and straighten the right leg. Take your left leg back up, internally rotate the leg, and draw the left leg over toward the right. Keep your left hip from leaving the mat. Keep a nice engagement. Shift back to the center position. Bend both knees and plant your feet. With your feet planted, place your hands just below your belly and lift your belly into the hands so you have quite an arch, quite a distance between the low back and the mat. Now press the fingers back toward the spine. Lift your tailbone, draw the waistline back to the mat. Lift up the low belly. Create this nice arch in the spine. Draw back from the navel back to the spine. One more time. Rock slowly. Press back. Keeping that, the navel drawing back to the mat. Continue to breathe. It might be a little shallower as you keep the navel drawing back. Have a little less space for the breath. But as you do, lift your toes so that you've got the strong engagement of the legs. And begin to take baby steps, the heels away from the pelvis. When you take those baby steps, press in through the heel, pull in toward the pelvis. When you do that action, it will increase the curve. So instead, your action is to keep on pressing from the navel back to the spine. As you work the legs, you'll start feeling the hamstrings engage. But keep on working against that action from the core area. Draw back even as the legs are very active. Now step in, trying to hold that. And release your feet. Take your arms back to the cactus pose. Take your right ankle to the outer left knee and reach your right knee as far as you can away from your chest. Now lift the left foot off the mat. Reach your right knee away from the chest. If you'd like to, you can interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. Keep on working the knee. Activate the feet. Spread your toes. Park your left foot back to the mat. Take your right foot over to the left side. Park the foot, if possible. I like holding on to the top of the foot to keep it parked. Now reach the right knee away from the pelvis. Stretch the right arm over your head. Even though the right side ribs are lifting, see if you can breathe into the left side. So just to balance the action out more. That'll help bring the right side down more. Now lift up. Step your left foot a little bit wider toward the left edge of the yoga mat and bring your right knee down to the mat. It's a little bit different stretch for you. Extend your left arm now up and over your head. So now the left side ribs are lifted. So breathe into the right. And slowly lift the legs up. Plant your right foot. Pause here. Take the feet wide apart. Draw your right knee down toward the left ankle again. Slightly different stretch of the outer hip. A little bit more weight to the left gluteal muscles. Lift your knees up and trade sides. Take your left ankle to the outer right knee. Reach your left knee a little further from your ribs. Draw over to the right side. Park your right foot. I like keeping a hand to the foot as a way to really root down through the left foot. As you try to draw from the pelvis to the knee, get this nice ease in your breath. Have your left arm reach up and over your head. And slowly lift up your left leg. Move your right foot over to the right edge of your yoga mat so you have plenty of room to draw your left knee down. So take your right arm over your head. Enjoy the length that you get at the top of the thighs. And lift your knees up. Step your feet so they're hip distance apart, or rather a little wider, as wide as the mat, so that now your left knee can collapse toward your right ankle. Just draw it down. You put a little bit more weight on the right gluteus. Breath helps you expand the front side of the body. Make your way to your belly, so roll over to your belly and stack your hands. Press your third eye into the stacked hands. On the in-breath, lift your stacked hands up as if the stacked hands are carrying your head, and come down. Just move the head on the stacked hands at the third eye area. Give it a nice massage. Before lifting your head up again, and draw down. And one more time, lift up and draw down. Now free your hands. Reach your hands straight back. On the in-breath, reach your hands back and rise up and draw down. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up, stay lifted, lift up, and draw down. Reach your right arm forward, roll over to your right side. Bend your top leg, hold on to your left leg, and gracefully make your way back to your belly. In breath as you lift up, exhale down. Two more. Lift up, draw down, and one more. Lift up and down. Release. Extend your left arm forward. Roll to your left side. Bend your right knee. Hold on to either the pants, shin, ankle. Roll gently to your belly. Lift up and down. And up and down. And up and down. Release your foot, stack your hands again. Press your third eye into the stacked hands. Massage the third eye area. Turn your head to the right, look at your right elbow, rest your head on your stacked hands. Lift your head up, turn your gaze to your left elbow. Park your head down. Come up to all fours position and make your way to sit with your feet forward in the same way that we did when we started the practice. Sit tall. Reestablish yourself on the sitz bones. Might want to move around again. Just kind of notice how things are feeling after doing a lot of hip work. Take your feet once again in padangustasana. Come forward on your sitz bones with that imaginary drawing away from the feet, even as the feet are together. Keep the legs active and just notice how you've got a little bit more action in the hip. Lean over to your right side, free your left leg, reach it out. We're doing the same pose that we started with, just to explore any differences that you might notice. Just allow your head to rest on your arms. As you lift your back leg, you engage it. Maybe the pose is just a little bit more accessible, or you just feel a difference in the action. And rise up. Take your feet back together in this padangustasana form, with the legs just pulling the feet away from each other to get length from the pelvis to the knee. And roll to the left side of your hip, and reach your right leg out. Come down to your forearms. Let your head rest with your back knee lifted. And lift yourself up to come back to lie down on the mat with your knees bent. Draw your knees in. Have your feet right over the knees. Hold on to your shins or your big toes. You might even want to hook the toes if that's available to you. Just slowly reach the feet out towards straight legs, and bend the knees again, drawing the knees toward the outer ribs, and straighten so that you get the sense of freedom, the sense of opening. And bend the knees again, and open up. And now slowly release. I'd like to release in a supported back bend. And this is not for everybody, but if you've got your blanket and can come to create a nice solid roll with the blanket, or with if you've got an extra sticky mat, that'll work too. And lie down as if on the bottom third of your shoulder area there. Might take a little bit to find that right spot. With your knees bent, interlace your fingers behind your head. Pause here. Lift your head as if you're trying to pull your head off your neck. You're actually stretching those muscles quite a bit there. Press your head back to make sure you've got a nice curve. And now relax. Draw your head down. Draw your elbows forward. Now do that same action with the elbows forward as opposed to wide apart. Get a little bit more engagement. So with the elbows forward, take the shoulder blades back as you come down. As you take your arms in this cactus pose and the feet in that same pose we've been working on, with the feet in this prayer position. Rather than all the engagement that we've been doing, just relax your legs and create this nice openness in the upper chest. And breathe very freely and naturally. You can stay in this pose if it's comfortable for you, or roll off to just assimilate all these actions that you've done in the practice in Savasana. You breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in deep Maintain that awareness to your breath. And ease to your facial muscles. A feeling of rootedness in the pelvis. And rest in the afterglow of your practice. Thank you for joining me in this very restorative practice. Namaste.